Hello and welcome to another video tutorial for the mind mapping application called Freemind 0.8.1. This video is going to cover some more advanced topics, so if you haven't watched the previous videos, I'd encourage you to go and do so now. We're going to cover in this video importing data into a mind map. So as you apply mind mapping to more and more of your tasks and projects and brainstorming sessions, you may find that you want to actually merge them together. And what we're going to show you in this video is going to assist you in doing that. And it's called importing. So during this video, we're going to do a quick review of how to link mind maps together, not necessarily import one to another, but just link them. We're going to talk about importing linked branches. We're going to talk about importing non-linked branches. We're going to talk about importing your folder structure. And we're going to talk about other importing options. So to start off, we're just going to have a fresh new blank Freemind session. So I'm going to start off new, and we're going to start a mind map called Projects 2009. So these are all the things that I have to do in 2009. So the first thing I got to do is, got to press insert, and I have a wedding to be involved in. And I also have some house stuff. So these are two of my major projects. I have some house projects and I have some wedding stuff. So if you've been watching the previous videos, you'll know that we had a whole sprawling mind map just for the wedding. So as we said at the start of the video, I want to do a quick review of linking mind maps, and that's how we're going to start, by linking wedding to an existing mind map. To do that, we're going to go to the insert, and we're going to say the hyperlink file chooser. I'm going to click that. I have to save this one first, so I'm just going to do a quick save as projects 2009 mm. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a hyperlink file chooser. Then I'm going to browse to where I'm hiding my mind maps. So this is the typical Windows Explorer browsing interface. I'm just going to go to my stuff. This may be different on your machine. It just depends where you're saving your mind maps. And I'm going to pick Wedding 2. So now there's that familiar red arrow link icon, and that means that we are prepared to hyperlink to the wedding mind map. So I'm just going to quickly save this by going File, Save, or Control S. And what this signifies is if I just go ahead and click that arrow, Freemind is going to open up my wedding mind map. So it's just a quick way to jump from one mind map to another. So I'm just going to close the wedding mind map by going File, Close. So linking is all well and good, but what if we actually want all that information actually much closer? We want to incorporate all of that wedding information into the whole of the Projects 2009 mind map. The way we're going to do that is via importing. So still with wedding highlighted as my context node, I'm going to go to File, Import, and we have several options here. We can import a branch, a linked branch without the root. So I'm going to try this two ways. I'm going to try it with the linked branch, and then I'm going to undo it. Then I'm going to try the linked branch without a root. So here we go. Import linked branch. And it didn't have to ask us to browse the file. It just said, oh, he wants to link in that whole branch that we already linked to. So it's the whole wedding mind map, but it's as appearing as a node, right? So whereas when we did this, we have wedding as the central concept, and reception, website, invite, ceremony, etc. as nodes off of that concept. Now what we have is a single node on the Projects 2009 mind map with all of those wedding nodes branched off of it. Okay, so it's the exact same mind map, it's just incorporated into this one now. So I'm just going to undo that by highlighting this wedding node and hitting delete, because really what I don't want to have is wedding, wedding, and then the child nodes. What I want to have is just wedding and right into the child nodes. So I'm going to delete. And then I'm going to go back to my file menu, import, and there's this linked branch without root. And when you say without root, essentially what you're saying is import it, but don't worry about this central concept in the middle. Leave that out. So I'm just going to close. Got wedding highlighted, file, import, link branch without root, and there's my whole wedding mind map. All nice and brought in under the wedding node. So I'm going to collapse that. I'm going to talk about the one of the other insert options there. We had file, import, branch. And when I click that, it's just going to go and ask me for a whole new mind map. So I'm going to use my browsing interface to go to the folder that I store my mind maps in, and I'm going to grab my housing mind map, which I just happen to name test.mm. So I'm going to click open, and there that mind map is fully imported. Now we may have to do some interesting stuff because now we have house and then the child nodes, so we may have to do something like click and drag this and bring it over to projects and then delete that hanging house node. Okay, so I hope you that was clear, the difference between those two options. One took a pre-existing link between two mind maps and just imported it without asking. The other required us to go and find an actual mind map to import. So let's just do a quick review. When you have a node that's already linked to another mind map, you can go File, Import, and import the whole linked branch or the linked branch without the root. Alternatively, if you don't have the node already linked to another mind map, you could go File, Import, Branch, and that'll bring up a Windows interface that asks you to go find the mind map. I'm just going to close this out. Nope. I'm just going to start a new mind map, and this one's going to be called My Stuff. And what I want to do is have the Freemind application map out my folder structure on my computer for me. So we've all seen Windows Explorer and how you have all sorts of different folders in there, and sometimes it can be confusing. And what I'd like to do is get mindmap to help me organize it a bit. So what I'm going to do is go File, Import, Folder Structure, and then Freemind is going to ask me, what folder do you want me to map out? So I'm just going to hit my drop down here, click on my E drive, click on the My Stuff folder, and click Open. And what mindmap does is treats every folder and every file as nodes on a mind map. So you'll see that some of these nodes can be expanded, like my videos folder. If I expand that, now I have files. And you can also see these little red arrows, and that means that you can link right to them. So under my recipes folder, you can see I have all those text files. So if I want my recipe for chocolate chip cookies, I just hit that arrow. Oops. Sorry, the chocolate chip cookies was a bad example. Sorry, I forgot to actually save. You have to make sure that your mind map is saved before you can actually execute those hyperlinks. So now that I'm under my recipe section, I actually want to pull up one of these text files. I'm just going to click on the red link, and here it brings up my recipe for barbecue shrimp burgers. Likewise, I can also just click on the folder, right, recipes, and that's taking me to my recipes folder on my Windows Explorer. For those of you unfamiliar with Windows Explorer, we also have some Windows Explorer tutorial videos for you that you can find under my profile. Freemind also comes with a few other import options. Whether or not you use them is up to you. You can import your Explorer favorites. So if you're using Internet Explorer and you have a large sprawling list of favorites, you can get mindmap to bring it in and organize it in this fashion. And you can also import from other mind mapper applications such as Mind Manager X5. If you own that application and you're building mind maps with that, you can import them into Freemind. So that covers importing. We did a quick review of how to link mind maps together, and then we showed how to import based on those linkages. We showed you how to import without pre-existing linkages. Then we taught you how to import your folder structure and the other importing options. I hope you learned something and hope to see you on future videos.